Okay,
Yep.
and
We're here, we're live, and we thrive.
we do on this show we bring you like what news, reviews,
Mm,
streaming,
mm,
trailers,
mm.
hidden
Jokes,
gems,
hidden
jokes. Exactly.
gems,
Look at us two, we're
madness.
jokes. Like seriously. So listen, this is Devout. This is episode 290.
290. Like Thor, we are also mighty.
Mighty.
Hmm.
um yeah, what do you reckon? Do you reckon they'll pull out another Thor movie, like standalone Thor movie, or that's it for him now?
Oh, I reckon they will because it will make money, but I don't think they should. Mm-mm.
Because that
Don't think
last
they should.
one, Love and
Last one was
Thunder,
shit.
it
Yeah,
was, man, it
it
was
was shit.
shite. So
Wasn't good. Wasn't good.
exactly, and that's why they've scaled back. I'm hearing a lot of stuff about Deadpool and Wolverine
Okay.
saying that it's gonna smash
What?
records, man.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it was going to be shit.
No, no, no. I was going to say, like, like, they do the pre-sale. So, for
Yeah,
example, the UK,
yeah,
Australia,
yeah, yeah,
US,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. So
pre-sale
from there
is,
they know. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. I know what you
yeah.
mean.
So,
Yeah, yeah,
like you bought two tickets.
yeah,
Like, I bought my ticket. So,
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying is like, they've calculated all of that, and they're like,
yeah,
damn, we're seeing dollars here, mate. Oh, seriously. So, yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see. And that's like what? That's about a month. That's what,
uh,
is it 9th of July or something?
no, I think it's late July.
Late
It's
July.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's just over a month away.
All right,
Yeah,
folks, we'll
just
be
over a month
bringing you
away.
that. So, listen, for the next 45 minutes, 50 minutes, we'll be bringing you episode 290. We've got a horror movie. Well, yeah, horror kind of thriller type of a
Mm,
movie that we want to speak
mm,
about a bit later on. I actually did manage to go out and watch this one because I thought, you know what?
okay.
Let me go out and watch this and see what it's like because I've heard a few things and we're going to speak about it. So, Deval and I, we will get into that. That's the Watchers.
Yep.
And yeah, so that'll be the main movie. And yeah, the usual movie news, streaming, trailers. But before all of that, Deval, shout outs.
Yes, we've got one shout out today, and the shout out goes to Uncle Lloyd,
Mm.
who actually responded on Instagram to one of our many posts. I'm only joking, but yeah, one of our posts on Instagram.
Shit, man, we got to up our game, man,
Yeah,
Deval.
there we are. We are. So yeah, he likes his movies. He likes his series as well, Uncle Lloyd. I
Mm.
think he likes lots of Netflix and stuff like that. But he just responded to say that the post we put out on Mohammed Kamel, who's an
Mm.
actor who's been in The Crown, it's
Yeah,
actually King Charles's birthday today, actually. So
yeah,
just so you know, and he's also been in Indiana Jones.
yeah.
Yeah, so he mentioned that I think he knows him, and he said, "Oh yeah, this guy was always going to be a star." So just a bit of a big up to Mohammed
Nice.
Kamal from Uncle Lloyd. So yeah, big ups all the way around, really.
Brilliant. Wicked. Thanks for that. And remember, you could be a shout out on the show. All you got to do is just get in touch with us or send us a message, WhatsApp.
Mm.
Actually, no, sorry, not WhatsApp. On
If you know us,
yeah, exactly. On Instagram, just message us to let us know
yeah,
what you're watching, and we will respond and we will shout you out on the show. All right, let's get
yeah,
into movie news now. Deval, it's been a while since we've heard anything about Peacemaker. Now,
mm.
Peacemaker, for people who don't know, we went through this period where a lot of Marvel stuff was getting released,
Yeah,
in the cinemas, TV shows, and people were kind of getting fatigued. And then amidst all of that, stuck in, sandwiched in between all of those stuff, we had this show called Peacemaker on HBO Max
yeah.
in the UK. Is it HBO Max in the UK or is it on Sky?
Uh, Here it's on Sky.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on
and
Sky
for
here.
us, it's on a different channel over here for us. But this, it's sweary. It was violent, and who would have thought that John Cena or John Cena would be such a great kind of anti-hero or whatever you want to call him? But it was a great show, written, directed by James Gunn, who then went off to do Superman. But the news here is, I'm waffling on. The news is that officially Peacemaker season 2 has started. So I'm thinking, Deval, have they wrapped up with Superman then? Has he wrapped up with Superman or is someone else like taken over?
Uh, no, but then I don't think he directed. Does he direct it?
He directed like a lot of the episodes for
Did he?
Peacemaker. Yeah, he
Like
did.
the one. See, that's a good question because I don't know. If I don't think Superman's wrapped yet. I no, I don't think so.
Mm,
I don't think
mm.
so. So I think pacemaker.
Yeah, we're going to need that soon.
Yeah. Um, yeah, do you know what? Maybe it has actually, but they haven't told
Mm.
us. They should be telling us actually because they
So
usually tell us these things,
yeah,
don't they?
yeah, exactly. So kind of
Hmm,
James Gunn, he's confirmed that
maybe.
Peacemaker is currently filming while he juggles Superman. So
Hmm,
Superman's being shot in Georgia, and I think maybe even Peacemaker might be shot in Georgia. Um,
hmm.
so he confirmed it on social media, and it was announced as soon as season one kind of ended, or when it started, they announced the season two as well.
Hmm.
And it's going to be one of the first releases. So Peacemaker season two is going to be one of the first releases from, the DCU's first chapter of Gods and Monsters. And check this out.
Okay.
Um, they're talking about these new characters called Creature Commandos. Have you heard about this?
What is that? Who are they? What do they do? Creature
Exactly.
Commandos?
Creature Commandos, this kind of DC bunch of kind of misfits, they are looking to kind of worm their way into kind of our hearts and minds. So keep that one in for people listening. Keep that one just in your thoughts there. They're called Creature Commandos, and I guess they're kind of I want to say kind of like a bit like Suicide Squad, where they're a bit
Hmm.
goofy, oddball,
Yeah,
they
misfits.
misfits, and somehow they're going to weave their way in. We're going to see them possibly in Peacemaker, but maybe
Yeah.
even in Superman as well. So let's kind of keep an eye out for that one. Also, I want to mention this Guy Ritchie, obviously, The Gentleman, Aladdin, Lock, Stock. He's done a lot of big budget movies. He also did the Sherlock Holmes movies, those big budget movies
Hmm.
starring Jude Law and Robert Downey Jr. Well, we're not getting a new movie, but we are getting a Sherlock Holmes TV series for Amazon Prime, which
Yeah.
is interesting because those Sherlock Holmes movies, they did actually really well for him. They took a lot at the box office. And the thing was, I think they were set up to always do a trilogy. But then, obviously, Robert
Hmm.
Downey Jr. got big with Marvel, started making Avengers. And then Guy Ritchie was off doing other things. He started doing Aladdin. He did The Gentleman, and he's done all these other kind of movies. But now he's back to the Sherlock Holmes world. But this is going to be an Amazon Prime exclusive. So it's a TV show, and we don't know who Sherlock Holmes is, who's going to play Sherlock Holmes, but it's going to arrive in April 2024.
That's not too far away, but who's going to be Sherlock Holmes?
Well, this is it. This is what, sorry, not April 2024, April 2025.
Yeah. It's just under a year. That's
Yeah,
still not too far ago. I mean, but my question is, who's going to be Sherlock Holmes,
that would
and who's going to
be,
be Watson, and who's going to be like all these people? Because
yeah.
it's not going to be Robert Downey Jr. Then, isn't it? It's going to be someone
No,
else.
because, I mean, I don't know I doubt it if he's,
Mm,
unless they, Amazon, I mean, they have got deep pockets, maybe they
yeah,
could,
yeah,
but I guess they want to make this a whole big thing.
yeah.
So,
But
and
it's
remember
going to be
that,
like The Gentleman, the film.
yeah,
The film was good, and then the TV show on Netflix that is
yeah,
also very good as
that's
well.
also
Like
pretty good as
that's
well.
really good, which makes
Yeah,
me think, how is it he's got to deal with Netflix and Amazon at the same time?
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's,
And not only that, Netflix, they've got Enola Holmes,
mm,
which Henry Cavill plays Sherlock Holmes
yeah,
in that
okay,
one.
too many,
So we've got like Robert Downey Jr., Henry Cavill, this new thing maybe that we're going to see on Amazon Prime.
mm,
So yeah, it's a bit weird, that one. So we'll see what happens. Now, this other piece of news that I want to mention. Now, people in Great Britain, in England, whatever, if you're a boxing fan, you will know of the name Prince Nazim Hamid, this boxer, British guy from Sheffield, from the Midlands, close to
mm,
Birmingham. He rose up and, from working class background, and he was trained by this guy called Brendan Ingle, and, working class roots. And then he became this massive, huge boxing sensation. To be honest with you, Deval, he had like, he had that flamboyancy. I never
yeah.
really liked him. To be honest with you,
Lots of it's almost like charisma and arrogance, and he's
exactly.
very showman actually. Like when he fought,
Oh,
like we had to watch just to see what would happen.
man,
He used to jump into the ring, like swing over the ropes. That's
I
how he
know.
got into the ring. And he was
And I
very,
remember
very
this one
showman.
fight. I
Very
remember who it
showman.
was. He came on like a flying carpet. Like,
Yeah, like
oh
Aladdin.
man, yeah, he looked like Aladdin. And then people were like, the guy had the goods though. He
See,
basically
there
knocked out
close your
everyone, man. Yeah.
eyes.
And then when he started fighting like Barrera, I think it was Barrera, Juan Antonio Barrera, and then when he started fighting the Mexicans, and then then that was it, man. He
And
was
that's
just
it.
like, yeah. Then
They
then he,
finished him, yeah?
then he got beaten, and then he just kind of like tried to make a comeback, and like and then.
Oh
But
my
this movie, I'm
gosh.
waffling on. But yeah, there's gonna be a biopic,
Yeah.
and we've got this new guy. His name is let me just see. His name is Amir Al Masri. Is going to be playing Prince Nazim, and Piers
Mm.
Brosnan is actually going to be playing Brendan Ingalls. So
Mm.
and this is going to basically chart the life story of Prince Nazim from working
Mm.
class roots in
Yeah,
Sheffield
yeah,
to
yeah.
kind of world champion, going over to Las Vegas, fighting Kevin. Was it Kevin Kelly? I can't remember that big. He's had some massive fight. Sorry, in America,
Mm.
and then all of a sudden it just kind of goes down. And now, if you type in Prince Nazim Hamid now, man, the guy is looking. The guy is just massive. That's what happens.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Because
It's what
they
happens,
train
man.
hard for so long, and you always see them in physical peak form. But
Yeah.
then when they retire, it's like now they want to enjoy,
Yeah.
and they're gonna just they're gonna look very different.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
guy directing this is someone called Rowan Athale. He directed episodes of Gangs of London. It's going to be
Okay.
produced by Sylvester Stallone's company as well. So kind of
Okay.
that boxing kind of heritage kind of in there. So we'll see. I
Mm.
mean, I'll still go and watch it. It'd be interesting. I'd like to watch it, see how they make of this. So no release date yet, but we'll keep you posted. And
Yeah.
finally, Emily Blunt is returning to UFO, like Alien Deval movie. Tell us about this.
She is, yeah. So how many Alien films has she's been in? She's been in Edge of Tomorrow, which actually
Yep.
is 10 years old, actually. That's
Wow, it's a good movie.
2014.
Good
Really
movie.
good. Tom Cruise, time travel, loop kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I love it.
Really, that's a good film, You got to watch that time and time
Yeah.
again. There was that one, A Quiet Place,
Yep.
2 parts to that one. Third part coming out soon. So she's had
Yep.
her dealings with aliens, enough. But the news is that Steven Spielberg, the man who cannot get enough of aliens, we've got
Yep.
Close Encounters of the, was it third kind or fourth kind?
Third
Fourth
kind,
kind?
ET,
What kind it is? Yeah, but ET. We've got
War of the
AI.
Worlds,
Is it AI?
AI,
Artificial intelligence, where that
Artificials.
ends up being some sort of. I swear there was aliens in that as well.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, Crystal Skull, wasn't he
Oh
involved in that
man.
as well? I think my
War of
man
the
loves
Worlds.
aliens. Oh my gosh, I forgot.
War of
My
the Worlds,
man,
man.
I swear he's an alien. He's basically telling
Seriously.
us in the work he does. I'm surprised in Jurassic Parks that
It's not
Tyrannosaurus would come
actually
and go,
aliens
"Ah,"
controlling
and there's an
everything.
alien inside, like controlling the joystick, like Men in Black. Remember?
Oh
Open
my
mouth.
gosh, man.
Uh,
Jeez. So what? So she's going to be. So Steven Spielberg, aliens, UFOs. What?
Sorry, it's just silly.
This is bad. It's bad.
It's silly. But yeah, was I saying again? Yeah, so Steven
Alien.
Spielberg, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
And I want to see that crane shot. So hopefully they've got that crane shot going to come in, and they
yeah,
all turn around,
and
and
look,
and the look. Oh
my
man.
God. You know what? I would love to be a pickpocket around a Steven Spielberg film. I'd just be like, everyone's looking there. I'd be like, and they're going to be rich in it. Rich people be like,
Exactly. Holy shit. What, listener,
you know
you
what I
gotta
mean?
watch the YouTube channel. Watch this video. Watch Deval. So what? He's doing. So he's going back to his let's say his roots, because I
Oh,
mean, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that
my
was in the
gosh.
80s. ET
Yeah.
was in the 80s. So he's kind of going back to this alien
Going back.
genre.
Yeah. So, yeah, long story short, the film is meant to be coming out in 2026.
Oh my
It's going to have
gosh.
Emily Blunt. Who knows who else is going to be in it? We're not sure the details at all. All we know is it's going to be alien UFO kind of film. So yeah, we'll see what happens when it happens.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And we'll obviously let you know. We'll watch it. Here's a quick question. We're going to move on to streaming, but here's a quick question that I want to put out to our Flixters and you, Deval.
Mhm.
Would you spend the night in a haunted house.
Nope.
And that leads us nicely onto what's new on streaming, because Netflix are showing Nope. And we watched this. And we watched this, didn't we, Deval? When did this come out? Has this been a year or 2 years?
Good question, you know. I swear it's over a year. It's been over a year for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jordan Peele, and there was just a lot of buzz around after Us and Get Out. What's Jordan Peele going to do? Because obviously he makes these kind of really interesting, movies about one thing, but really they're about another thing. And then this came along. We saw it. Daniel Kaluuya is in this, and about this kind of UFO, keeping it with the UFOs and aliens and everything, and what he does, and this idea about what would you do, Deval? Would you go out and explore and investigate? Would you though?
Like I said, nope.
It's
I don't need to know. I don't need to know.
A spaceship that is every day just turning up and just like watching and looking at us and like, what's going on? Oh man.
I don't need to know. I don't know everything, and I can keep it that way. They can do their thing. I'll do mine.
Just stay away.
And that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably here now watching us,
And that is a really good, interesting point about watching, because we're going to be speaking about that later on. But Nope is on Netflix. Go check it out.
Yeah.
And also now, I mean, come on, 3 episodes of The Boys season 4 dropped. And Deval, okay, I might say something controversial.
No, you know what? I haven't seen it yet. For once, I haven't seen it yet. But you can say what you want to say.
No. Oh, no, I'm not going to say anything, because I want you to watch it, and I want to see if we have the same thought on this one. But basically, the first 3 episodes of The Boys season 4 dropped. The gang is back. Man, I can't.
I know Emmanuel, he mentioned this in our chat.
Yeah.
Emmanuel's not coming to the show actually, so we ain't seen him in a while on the show.
Exactly. When this concludes, we got to talk about this.
Yeah,
but
he's all over this. I know.
All I'm going to say is what you remember from season 3 and season 2, this kind of incidents and craziness. Oh my gosh, man. It's just there. It's all there. But I want to get your take on it, because it's mad. So Amazon Prime, they dropped 3 episodes, and these episodes, they're like one. I remember the first episode was like 63 minutes. They're long episodes, man. They're long, and they weren't short anyway. But for some reason, these just feel a bit longer.
Okay.
Yeah. So go check it out, folks. Listen to, go watch that, The Boys season 4, and again, Peacemaker, The Boys, Invincible. They're kind of like the antidote to all the Marvel stuff that you've been watching. These are kind of grown up, gory, like mad storylines on these ones. So go check it out. And new trailers, Deval. Let's do new trailers now. This one popped up in our feed. And if you like your rural England kind of horror movies that are kind of set in out in the sticks, and people have this connection with the earth and the land, and story tales and
cults and rituals and seances.
This movie is going to be right up your field, because first of all, it stars Matt Smith, and we've seen Matt Smith from
House of the Dragon. It's on now. Well, by the time you listen to this podcast, you would have probably seen an episode of House of the Dragon. Yeah,
House of the Dragon. He was in this Marvel movie as well recently, which was flopped. What was it again, man?
Was it Morbius or something?
He was in Morbius. He played the villain in that. People in the UK will know him from Doctor Who. He played the Doctor for 3 years, so kind of a lot of energy. But in this movie, he plays a dad, and Morfydd. Is the name Morfydd Clark?
Morfydd Clark, I think. Yeah, I think you got a name right. Yeah.
Deval and I reviewed this movie called Saint Maud, another like A24-ish kind of a movie.
I think it was A24.
Was it A24?
I'll double check.
Yeah,
it might have been.
And she was in The Rings of Power, which is the Lord of the Rings kind of TV show. On she plays Gladriel, I think.
Yeah, on Amazon. I still haven't finished it.
I still have not finished it. She plays what's the character? Kate Blanchett's character from Lord of the Rings. one of the
Oh yeah, oh
elves.
yeah, the younger version. Yeah,
Younger
Saint
version.
Maud is A24. Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
A24.
Mm.
So she's kind of got this kind of strange look about her, and she fits in with these
Mm.
movies. And this movie, Starve Acre, is madness. They've lost a child. They're bringing back their child. There's kind of therapy going on in there. There's a nursery rhyme. There's kind of, this folksy thing going on. There's the Wicker Man stuff going on. Midsummer. No, sorry, not, yeah, Midsummer. What's the other one before Midsummer that he did?
Hereditary.
Hereditary vibes to it as well.
Mm, mm.
Just about a child. It's got weirdness, and me and Deval, we love it, and we're going to watch it. And this is coming out soon.
This looks it looks unsettling as well. You know the sort of films that you watch and like your back itches and you're like, do you know what I mean? It's like the ones there.
Deval, what was going on with the tree?
I don't know.
There's something growing in the ground. There's just something weird going on, and we got to figure out what's going on. But at the same time, I don't want to figure out what's going on. So we'll see. This is called Starve Acre. If you've got access to YouTube, go check that out. It's mad. The other one is called In a Violent Nature. We're all violent, Deval. We're all capable of acts of violence, by the way.
What? It's so good you said that because that's human nature.
That is
no matter who you are, where you are, you're born, no matter what your faith is, whatever, like humans have a violent nature. It's in us. And some people it's higher, some people it's lower.
Yeah.
And we have to suppress it at certain times when our reaction would be violent.
Yeah.
So we tend to have to suppress it because of social norms and all that kind of stuff. But this film, I literally just plucked it on the program. I did watch it during the week randomly. In a Violent Nature it's pretty much like what's it called? Jason, Friday the 13th and all those kind of films.
Okay, yeah, like slasher movie.
What's the other one with Jamie Lee Curtis? Halloween. Yeah, so it's like that. So you got a killer who walks around in this. He's got like it's weird, but he's got like a mask of some sort with two big kind of goggle things.
Oh God.
And he just walks around killing people. The man doesn't talk, nothing. He just walks around with axes, hooks. My man just kills people. That is it. That's it. Honestly, this film looks so low budget, but people are talking about it. It's coming out in the cinema. It's coming out in July. It is just raw. This man just goes around walking. I don't know how he gets and the camera. Yes, that's it. The thing that's different about this film, yes, I remember now. I remember the thing that's different about this film. In all horror films, whose perspective is it from?
Oh yeah, from the victim.
Yes, this film we follow the killer.
Oh, this is interesting.
We follow the killer.
Yeah.
The whole time, the camera, the camera stays with the killer. So you can imagine, see, like in Friday the 13th and whatever, the couple are kissing in the car and whatever, and the killer comes out of nowhere. We'll know where nowhere was. We'll see. We'll see how he hid, how long he waited for. We will be with him.
Oh man, wicked! I'm there.
We'll
I wonder if they go like him preparing, like cleaning the blade, sharpening the blade. I want to see that.
Does it stop for toilet breaks? All these things we're going to find out.
Yes,
we're going to find out.
Right, let's watch it, man. So that was called In a Violent Nature.
Yeah, watch the trailer. Watch the trailer. It's mad. It looks low budget. It is, but this one is from a different perspective.
I know. And remember, we've spoken about it on the show before. The horror genre, the slasher genre, is alive.
Low budget.
This
will make a killing. Yeah, this will make a killing. Exactly. Trust me. Yeah.
All right. Now, the last one that I want to speak about is called The Instigators. This one is an Apple Plus movie. And, Apple Plus, man, they're spending money because we've got Matt Damon, we've got Casey Affleck, Ben Affleck's brother. And so in this, Matt Damon, I think it's set in Boston. And I think originally...
They love a bit of Boston, isn't it? They love a bit of Boston, these guys.
Love a bit of Boston, these guys. And... So he kind of plays this down on his luck father. He wants to reconnect with his child. He takes therapy sessions. So he's seeing a psychologist, and his therapist is kind of giving him advice, saying, "Look, have you tried reconnecting with your child and doing this and doing that?" And then the therapist says, "Have you tried everything?" And then he says, "Well, there's one thing that I haven't tried." And then it cuts into this whole kind of comedy where he's teaming up with Casey Affleck, and they're trying to they're going to do a job. They're robbing a big stash of cash from someone, and it's the kind of the bumblingness, the kind of the planning it, and all that sort of stuff. Looks fun, light-hearted. It's not your. Do you remember the Ben Affleck movie, the one that he did where it's called The Town?
Yeah. Good film.
Good film. So that was kind of more on the dramatic side. This is probably going to be on the lighter side.
Okay.
So a kind of heist movie where he has to reconnect with his child as well at the same time. So one of those movies. So it's on Apple Plus, and we're going to see that coming in August, Deval.
Okay. All right.
So keep an eye for that. And let's move on to Anniversary Corner. Now, this one is a great kind of Anniversary Corner pick because it's got the same vibes. This movie from 2004, from 20 years ago, by the way, this is called The Village, and directed by M Night. And obviously we've got that connection to the main movie because the main movie is directed by his daughter. So kind of this full circle. The Village. I remember when it came out, it stars Joaquin Phoenix, and it stars
Sigourney Weaver, William Hurt,
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Is that the other one? Is she in this one as well? Oh, she is in this one. Yeah. Was she also in the one with the swimming pool? What's that one called?
Oh, the lady in the water.
Yeah, was she in that one as well?
I think she might have been in that one as well. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
So this one, and I remember when it first came out, it was kind of derided. It didn't do well at the box office. So M Night's movies, man, they're slow burning. They're this kind of like slow, but then there's the killer twist at the end. And that's what he was known for. The Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, Glass, that kind of twist right at the end, and he kind of does something new. This one, I think it didn't land as well as the other ones, but it did better than The Lady in the Water, I think. So I only watched this the once, Deval, but can you remember? I know, but the twist I do remember the twist. This is a spoiler where they're supposed to be living in this village and in the middle of nowhere, but really they're not.
Yeah, they're not. Because this village is almost like an old, I wouldn't say New England. When you think of like the Salem witch trials and that kind of era, it's like back in the day in America. And that's what you think the film is. But then you realize, no, the film is set in modern times. And this is almost like it's set. It's almost like what's that film with Jim Carrey? It's almost like
oh, yeah, I know. I know.
Jim Carrey, the one where he's being like the whole thing's a game.
Watched all the time.
He's being watched. Yeah, so it's similar to that. It's gonna bug me now. I should know the name of that film.
I know what you're talking about. The Truman Show.
The Truman Show, yeah. There's almost like that. The Truman Show. But yeah, this film. Do you know what? Just putting this on the anniversary list, 20 years. I actually want to watch it again just to get a. Because sometimes you watch a film when you're a certain age, because then I would have been 24.
Yeah.
You watch a film at a certain age, and then you watch it again when you're older and wiser, and you get something different from it,
Yeah, absolutely. We would have dismissed it. We would have been, early 20s. And I remember when I watched it, I was like, okay, it was a bit meh. But you're right. Actually, watching it 20 years later will be a different thing. This is actually on Disney Plus.
Is it? Okay, there you go. There you go. Say no more.
Exactly. It was critically panned, but a commercial success. So it did really well. And I think that is M. Night's thing, right? So he makes these smallish type of budget, 50, 60 million, maybe 100 million, and they do about 200-300 million at the box office. So go check that out if you haven't seen it. And this fits in nicely with the main movie that we're going to be speaking about, because 20 years later, his daughter, M. Night's daughter, she has made this movie called The Watchers, and her name's
Yeah.
Ishana. And a part of me is thinking, does she like? Okay, how did she get to make this movie? Is it because obviously her dad?
Mm.
You know, obviously he
Yeah.
has the name, he's got connections. So there's a part of that I'm thinking, yeah, plays a lot of part to it as well. But I kind of put that aside and I thought I'm going to judge this movie based on what I'm watching. I don't care who's directing it, whose daughter, whatever.
Mm.
So I started watching the movie, got into the cinema. I was the only one watching the movie. And then I thought,
Only
okay,
you, serious? You
mate, there
won.
was
Oh
one.
shit.
I was the only one watching this movie. I looked around. I'm like, shit, is anyone over here? Is anyone watching me, watching the movie? Like, seriously, there was no one there. Movie starts, set in Dublin. And I
Mm.
thought, okay, yeah, it's interesting. They set it in Dublin. So we're slowly, we're getting this kind of rural feel, secluded woods, Dakota Fanning. I haven't seen her in a while, actually, in something. And she's got this kind
Mm.
of glazed look over her face. She's a broken person. Something's happened in her past. And that is a typical trope, Deval. These characters, they have something gone wrong in the past and they're dealing
Yeah,
with
yeah,
something.
yeah.
She's running away from something, and then she, the movie has to move along, and she's on a job which takes her down to this wood, this forest. And this forest isn't like your typical forest. There's something
Mm.
spooky and creepy going on in these woods. We don't know what exactly. And the first kind of 15, 20 minutes, Devout, I was thinking, you know what? It's got that atmosphere. It's got those long shots, those pan shots. You're seeing something, you haven't
Mm.
seen something, and we know that something's kind of going to go amiss over here. So Dakota Fanning, she gets stuck in the woods, and the woods play jokes on people. Basically, you hallucinate, things move around, and it's not a typical forest or wood or whatever. And before you know it, she's stuck in there. It's nighttime, and that's when the shit hits the fan. So that's the kind of the setup. There's things in the woods, basically in the forest, and we meet some other characters. And in my head, I'm thinking, what's going on here? There's a kind of a cabin, not a cabin, but kind of like a, what would you call that thing, Deval? The thing
Uh,
in the woods,
it's
like a
like a
bunker.
cabin. It's like a yeah. That's a better word. Like a bunker, but with a glass window, so they can see you.
Yeah, so they can see, so they can watch you basically. So there's
Mm.
four people. So Dakota Fanning's character, she gets lumbered in with these three other people, these weirdos who've been in this bunker for a while, and they're like, "Listen, you got to follow the rules. They need to see your face. They need to watch us first." And from then on, it all just kind of goes from there. So
Mm.
that's the setup, right? Deval, do you want to add anything to that?
No, you set it up quite well, actually. I mean, the film, this is a directorial debut from
Mm,
Ishana Shyamalam, the daughter
yeah.
of M Night Shyamalam, and it has very much of the same eerie ingredients that all his films do. Very lots of question marks. You're slowly given maybe some of the answers to those question marks, but it's
Mm,
very much got that same essence that her daddy has set out the ground for many years.
mm,
It's originally from a book called The Watchers
yeah.
by a person called A. M. Shine. And this book, that's an Irish writer, and it
Mm,
is where it's set in the book. It's set in Ireland as well in the film, so they kind of kept true some of the main components of the book. The film actually was called The Watchers originally, but they changed it in the UK and Ireland and called it The Watched. So over here
oh.
we've got The Watched. It's not called The Watchers, but that's because they changed it because of a Netflix show called Watchers. So because of
Oh,
that, I didn't want audiences in the UK to be
to get
confused.
confused. Okay.
Yeah, even though in the film they refer to them as Watchers, they can't
Yeah.
change. The film's been made, so they can't change anything about that. But
Mm,
it's the Watchers. I think is better than the Watched.
I
Because
think
the
so as
Watched,
well.
the Watched is like, okay, you watched me, you're gone. The Watchers are still watching me. You know what I
Watching me.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, the film. Yeah, you set it up quite well. So I'm not going to add anything more to that apart from just saying that uh, it's very, very intriguing.
Mm,
Because the whole time you want to find out who these watchers are, because it's in the title. It's not about Mina, the character,
yeah,
or the other people that she's with that you'll see in the trailer. It's about who are the watchers.
yeah.
What are the watchers? What gives them the right to watch people and have the power over those people? Because the people that are being watched, they've already submitted to the watchers.
Mm,
They even say, they are powerful. We must do this. There's certain things they must do every night. They must stand in a line. They have to almost perform for the watchers, and they must do it. They can't go
mm,
out at night. They can't go to certain places within the forest. The forest itself has almost like a magical hold on
yeah.
anyone that enters the forest. So it's not somewhere you can wander in there, get lost, but once you get in there,
You're never coming out.
yeah, kind of thing. You're never coming out,
Things
and
change.
there is a there is a power there because when
Yeah.
Mina goes to the forest, her car loses power. So there's something that is it's not just in your mind, something is going on. And a
Mm,
little bit of this reminded me of, Game of Thrones,
yeah.
the forest, is it the forest,
The Black
the people in
Forest.
the forest,
Oh, yeah.
what they're called again. Is it the forest people or the people in the forest?
The first men, the first people.
They're before the first men. The
Oh
people
yeah.
that had those little bombs and
Yes.
they helped the little bombs, remember? And they kind of look like they're
Little
forest people.
forest
I
people.
forgot what
Yeah.
they're called, but yeah. So this film reminded me of ancient sort of
Mm,
Irish or English folklore
yeah.
of those people who sometimes they called them fairies,
Yeah.
sometimes they called them like I don't know demigods or whatever. It even goes back to the some religious texts that talk about
Yeah.
certain things
Yeah.
that were on Earth that maybe laid with humans, and they had like a
Yes.
half breed, and what they looked like, what we looked like, and in the Bible they're called Nephilim, and they're like
Yes.
10 feet tall,
10 feet tall.
and they
They
sort
had.
of in
Yeah. They
go.
they 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 mated with humans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Mm,
and that's when you look at Greek mythology. They look at that the Titans, and they're massively tall.
yeah.
They mate with humans, and then there's demigods, and
Yep.
all these different types of ancient religious, or
Myths and
cultural
legends.
myths, legends, or people, whatever they believe. They
Yeah.
maybe have different ways of talking about similar things.
Yeah.
So this
Mm,
is an interesting kind of spin on that. So
it is. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm bringing it, making it Irish as well, something a bit different.
Yeah, and keeping it to
So
the roots of the novel and everything. I thought that
yeah.
was interesting. The only thing that I found though was I I sussed out the
Mm.
ending. I sussed out the twist way
Oh,
before.
okay, okay,
And then
okay.
I just knew that okay, this is like a night this is like a Shyamalan movie. We
Yeah.
know we're gonna get a twist at the end.
Hmm.
And then as the movie progresses, we find out like, there was another character he's basically died off screen, but
Okay.
they find some videotapes and they
Mm.
find out. And then from that point onwards, I was like, okay, now I get it. Yeah. And then
Is
as
it from
slowly
that point you kind of
mate,
knew? Is it?
I knew, man,
Yeah.
because one of
Okay.
the characters knows a lot.
Too much. Yeah. They know too, and you're right because in this, I think there was a lot of. Do I want to call it spoon feeding? But there was a lot of. There was. I got to a point where they just seemed to be telling us what's going on. Like,
What's going on? Yeah,
yeah, just the
yeah,
information. I'd rather know less and try and
yeah.
figure it out. But
Try exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
and
it didn't
I
land
kind of
again.
yeah, man. I kind of figured it out, and then for me, and then it was great. There's this kind of backstory, like what you said about the myths and the legends, and about these
Mm.
things, who they were, how they lived together with humans. But then there was this kind of, we don't like you, we don't want
Oh,
you,
yeah.
war between, those creatures and then the humans and
Mm,
everything, and then they
mm,
get trapped. So
mm.
that was all great. And but I don't know, man. It just kind of felt like as if when I watch kind of like say the Sixth Sense,
Hmm.
or the twist at the end of that one was like, oh my
That's next
god,
level. Yeah, that
that's next
was
level. You
next
know,
level twist.
when you watch what was
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable,
Uh,
and what was the one with Professor X? What was that one again?
Split.
Split.
Yeah.
The twist at the end of that one.
Yeah.
And then, M. Night, he kind of does these things, right? And this
Mm.
one, it felt like as if, were they trying to do something similar? Because if they were, I don't
Twist,
know,
it wasn't twisty. It was
it
like,
wasn't twisty.
the way I can describe it was, you get gymnasts that do these really great moves. They flip, do this and that, flip, and then when it comes to the landing, they buckle.
The buckle.
It's almost like that. It's like they do
Absolutely.
the maneuver's quite good, but then the landing, if you don't stick the landing and then stand there and do that, you don't get
Yeah,
the scores.
I know,
And
man.
that's kind of
But
like, you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. So I would say as a first time, all right, without her dad, would
Mm.
she have got the film made? I don't know.
I can tell you, no.
No.
No, I can say this
Yeah.
is her first film,
Yes.
directorial debut. If you
You.
go to her IMDb, yeah, I don't even remember seeing a short film before this. Let me double
No.
check that. I don't want to talk shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk shit. Maybe there's a short film here. Yes, there is. Sorry, my
Oh,
mistake. Yeah, there's one
okay.
short film,
Right.
2018. No,
Okay.
art department. So that's not her film.
So there you
She was
go.
just part of the art department. She was second assistant director for Old, which is 2021 M Night
Which
Shyamalan
is
film.
her dad. Right.
And she
Okay.
also
Yeah.
worked as a producer for a few episodes on, 20 episodes of Servant, which is a good series
Which
on
is a
Apple
good
TV.
Okay. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And then this
So
is her first film,
this
proper
is the
film.
first big
So,
proper
yeah.
film. So I'm just waiting for the midnight train to
Midnight
Georgia.
Train to Georgia. Ooh. Or was it the Midnight Meat Train? Which train? Which train would you rather go on? The Midnight Train to Georgia or the Midnight Meat Train? That's one for you
Depends what
to.
kind of meat we're talking about.
Ooh, I heard that.
Heard that. So, like, a part of me is like the beginning, the first half of the movie was this atmospheric, and it's like, shit, what are these things, man? These creatures, they're coming out and they're watching them, and all this sort of stuff. And I love that, the mythology and everything. But then
Yeah.
as the movie started to progress, and I was just like, hang on a second, they're like, okay, it falters. They've got, there's gaps, and then I'm like, okay, they got away really easily, and okay, fine, whatever, and then the twist at the end, I saw coming, so I knew what was going to happen, man.
Yeah.
So as a debut movie, fine,
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
it's not
Not
bad.
bad.
It's not bad at
Not
all.
bad.
I suppose, we'll look forward to the second, the third, and the fourth movie. Interestingly, her dad has a movie coming out very, very soon called Trap.
Yeah, that looks all right. That looks
Now,
different.
that
It's
looks decent.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh Hartnett as a killer, but
Yeah.
a sort of a killer that you wouldn't expect. Almost like a, what do you call it? What's the guy from the 70s and 80s? The one that was in America, serial killer. The one that they always said, oh, he's really handsome. We never thought he would be a killer.
Yeah, Bundy.
Yes, Ted Bundy. Almost like that kind of, serial killer. So Trap
Yeah.
looks interesting. Yeah.
It's interesting, right? So we've got father and daughter. They're kind of out in the cinema, which is a great
Yeah.
moment for them. And I suppose, kind of like, if you're the dad and your daughter's coming out with a movie, you'd be very proud and
A
everything.
concert, even. It's a concert in
Yeah.
Trap. And guess who's on the concert playing singing music?
It's not Taylor Swift, is it?
No, it's another Shyamalan. Because they got another Shyamalan who's a singer.
Oh my gosh.
Shyamalan, who's a singer. She makes good music, actually. Makes good music.
Yeah, I've never heard it. So we'll see. Like, that movie's going to be coming out soon, and Deval and I will go out and watch it. And so it'd be interesting just to see kind of, how these movies fit together and everything. What I will say though is definitely the atmosphere. She knows how to kind of build up that tension in the first half of the movie. But for me, it kind of fell a bit flat. And it's
film makers. Oh, sorry to, but I always do. I always cut you off, but you make such a good point. The beauty of a horror movie is sometimes not to show the audience too much, because the main horror is within one's within your mind and what you perceive the thing to look like. There's a moment in this film, and the moment, it's right near the end, where they're by the water, and you get to see, and the graphics look shit. I'm like, what is this?
What?
Did they finish it? Why did they show us so much?
Exactly. And even what I didn't get was there's one death scene in there at the end with the boat, just before they get onto the boat. I'm like, why did he do that when he knows?
Dickhead.
Exactly.
Dickhead.
So it was just like,
Dickhead.
oh my gosh, it was really,
You
really
know
silly.
why?
Anyway,
Someone had to die, basically. Someone had to die.
Yeah,
That's all it
yeah,
is.
yeah, exactly. The other famous person is Georgina Campbell. She was in. Do you remember Barbarian?
Barbarian. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know
She's
she was
a
British.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She is. Yeah, yeah. She kind of reminds me of a young version of like
Um,
Rosario Dawson a little bit.
Dawson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Kind of
So she
reminds me of
looks.
her.
Yeah, so she's in that one as well. So fans of Barbarian, you'll
Mm,
recognize her. But anyway,
mm.
so for me, it's it's not kind of up there. It's got interesting bits.
Mm.
She can obviously, create tension,
Yeah,
and I'll just have to look forward to the next movie that she makes.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's fair
um,
enough. That's fair
yeah,
enough. Same. I'll give it probably a 5 or 6 out of 10. Probably maybe
exactly.
I lean towards a 6, but
Yeah,
yeah,
watch
it
it
was
on.
decent.
You don't.
But
I don't even think it's worth watching in the cinema. This is like kind of like
yeah, yeah, you can wait till
you
Netflix
can
or
wait.
whatever. Yeah, or
Exactly.
Disney Plus if it comes out on there. I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, their movies do. All right, okay. That is the end of the show. We don't have time. On next week's show, Deval. I mean, I will speak about this
What's
movie
that?
called Kill List. No, Hitman. The Hitman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
want to speak about
And
that.
I still want us to talk about Where Evil Lurks, that Argentinian horror film. We
Oh
still
man.
we still haven't covered that yet. That's a
Oh,
hidden gem. I need to
that's it.
maybe not next week, but I'm gonna watch it and then
Yes.
we'll talk about it when we've got a line of other
Just
horror
to
things
speak
to talk
about.
about. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. Okay.
yeah.
So keep it locked with the Flixters, and we'll see you on the next one.